Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Polkadot, Cardano, Avalanche, and Solana. We may take a quick look at a few other coins. I'll probably take a quick look at Luna because I do want to talk about Luna. It's been pretty fun watching Luna. But I do want to go over Bitcoin starting out. So I have not done a recap in quite a while. I've given it a couple days, say about a week or two, mainly because we were consolidating for most of it. Didn't really see much of an update as we were just fighting in the support zone here. Had this initial breakdown and then quickly after had a break up, and then we had this very decisive, powerful candle, nice 10% rally candle. And now we have begun to break through this short-term resistance level here at pretty much 22,000, I would say. And now we're showing the potentials of reaching what I would consider major resistance levels at 23,500, going to 24,300, 24,500. So this general zone here is likely going to be major resistance should price get up there. Okay, so should price get up to this level, I'm expecting a pullback. However, looking at the sentiment throughout all of social media, throughout multiple facets of news, I'm telling you right now, it's very likely we're going to see a breakout. Okay, we're likely going to see a breakout and a move all the way towards 26,000, maybe even higher. I've been calling for this move for quite some time, even all the way back here. I knew it's very likely that we were going to break lower from here, but even then, I was still calling watch for a move, maybe even all the way back to 28,000, 30,000. A lot of retail traders are overly bearish, and a lot of news and influencers are all overly bearish. It's really right there for the taking, and there's a lot more liquidity that needs to be gobbled up all throughout this move here. Okay, all throughout this move here, there's a ton of liquidity here that needs to be gobbled up to get these retail traders in pain who are shorting after they missed this entire move and this entire move. Okay, so it's likely we're going to see over the coming weeks to maybe a month or so moves higher, going towards 26, 27, 28, and maybe even 30,000. I'm becoming more and more confident of that, but the first level, the first test is going to be this zone here. Okay, so, as we are still in the Bitcoin long, we've been pretty comfortable in the Bitcoin long for a while, mainly because of how our altcoin positions have been performing over the, weeks and months that we've been trading. I am seeing a light at the end of the tunnel for our position. And going on to that, let's go on to Polkadot next. Let's talk about Polkadot. And Polkadot beginning its move up. I like what I've seen out of Polkadot. Pretty decisively holding this level, now having a nice little pullback. We'll see how this daily candle closes. Considering how strong Bitcoin's been looking, I would not be surprised if by the end of the day we start seeing this get bought back up, but again, we'll see. I do like overall the structure. I like that it's holding this high pivot over here. We'll see if it comes back down to test this level here at $7.40. Either way, should this happen, that is still overall fairly bullish. Okay, this structure is not bearish, it's overall short-term bullish, and I do see us getting back towards $8, breaking this high pivot level right here, and then going towards 8 and change, and maybe all the way up to 850. Okay, getting past that though will be a challenge. For that to happen, I do think Bitcoin will be having to break past the levels of like 24,000 and so. All right, but what I'm observing in the crypto markets is some indecisiveness in some assets and then some decisiveness in other assets. Which is pretty interesting, especially as Bitcoin's dominance is starting to rise all of a sudden now. So I'm curious to see if Bitcoin's going to start dragging the market higher, because I do believe Bitcoin's going to start pushing higher, especially as that most of these retail traders are looking for it to come lower. All right, let's go on to Cardano next. And Cardano, very similar to Polkadot, found a nice bounce off this. This is pretty minor support. Found a nice bounce there, and now is showing some weakness here. I think we are going to see a pullback all the way towards 48 cents for Cardano. If that should hold, and maybe if we go even lower towards 47, if that zone should hold, this zone here, I do see that we're likely going to get back towards this level here at 52 cents and then breaking towards 55 cents. Okay, just because this is going to break higher, in my opinion, does not mean that we're going to go to new highs. I am still overall bearish in the midterm here, especially on Bitcoin. I do see it going lower, going towards like the 14,000, maybe even 12,000 level, and potentially even lower if the stock market continues to do what I see it doing. But in the short term, I will say like I do see more upside overall. Okay, and let's see Avalanche next, and we're still in all these long positions. And I believe I want to say for Cardano, Avalanche, and Solana, we are in the green. I know Solana we're definitely in the green. Avalanche we're in the green. Polkadot and Cardano actually might be break even right now, but overall fairly comfortable. Very little exposure to everything, just about. And right now, Avalanche is the most interesting to me because it is fighting off of a pretty significant resistance zone. Okay, as you can see, it's having some trouble here. It's going to be fighting here for quite a while unless Bitcoin really takes a leadership role and starts pushing up higher. Okay, this is where I could definitely see Avalanche breaking lower. Okay, and Avalanche taking more time to create a bottoming structure short term if we're going to have a bullish impulse on Bitcoin. Okay, this is what I definitely see happening on Avalanche if we're going to have a bullish impulse on Bitcoin. If we're not, this is what I'm seeing on Avalanche. Okay, so then we're going to likely see that continuation lower to attack this bottom pivot at $13.74, and honestly it's very unlikely that will hold. All right, so we want to see in the short term this sort of structure forming, right? Having kind of like an Adam and Eve bottom. And you can technically say that the Adam and Eve bottom happened right here. This could be the Adam bottom, this could be Eve. All right, and then we might have another one here. If you don't know what Adam and Eve bottoms are, it's really just like a double bottom, one that's a little lower than the other. And you'll also have Adam and Eve tops where one's a little higher than the other. Okay, it's just like a little clever way of just describing that pattern. We might be having that here. We'll see. I do lean towards a short-term rise coming for Avalanche. If it should break up higher, Avalanche I would actually target towards the ascending trend line here. So I think it'll start attacking this high pivot here at 26 bucks if we get that breakout, especially if Bitcoin is the one leading the way. Okay. Now let's take a look at Solana. So Solana, I think a very powerful day. Solana's actually at a pretty significant level. I like where it's at. I was tempted to take some profits because I know we got in right around down here. I have been tempted to take profits, but I do see more upside as I'm observing Bitcoin and really the environment around it. So I don't feel as if it would be most viable to take right now, especially with how little exposure I have on Solana. Because should it break down, I do have levels where I am looking to add on to it now. But I do like what I'm seeing. Very strong, relatively much stronger than almost every other crypto I've been observing today. But it is finding that resistance at 38.10, which is not surprising. Expected that. But should it break past that level, then I think the next major level that's going to have some trouble with is going to be around right at above $40, $40.50. I think it'll start wicking from there. I am tempted to close around $40. So if we do start breaking towards $40, you'll probably get that notification, guys, to close out the Solana trade, because that would be around anywhere from 15-20% of a trade. So I definitely would take that. No questions asked. I always love that. But again, it's at a level similar to Avalanche where it's at a decent resistance level. Nothing major, but if Bitcoin does continue to show weakness, then that level will hold out fairly well, and we'll probably see more downside. And if Solana does break down, then you're going to see it, attack these wicks down here, and probably will break under them. Unless I would be very surprised if these hold, but I will be looking for this to hold. Okay, because if this is going to be a Adam and Eve bottom, okay, then this should hold. This definitely should hold. If it's not, then we're going to break lower and get towards like much lower levels, going towards like 22 bucks. So that's kind of my thinking. I do think this is a bottoming structure overall being built, okay, just like for everything else. And I do think we're getting a lot of retail traders are getting whipsawed around here. Some are thinking we're going to go break lower. Some are thinking we're going to break higher. Most are thinking we're breaking lower, especially after this bear structure, right? So if you've been following me, you know that I've been going long a lot of times, even in spite of these bear structures, right? Bitcoin's a great example. And if you are in my tutorings, or you even listen to me talk in the videos, you might be feeling like that's a little inconsistent, that why am I going long when I say bearish structures tend to drift higher? Because you have to read the context. After these massive drops, bottoming patterns tend to have many bearish structures within them. And if you've been looking at charts as long as I, you know that, hey, we're likely going into some bottoming structures here. And a lot of retail traders just don't understand that. So they'll look at the bearish structures within these bottoming patterns and be like, oh, okay, we're going lower. Yeah, we're going lower short term, but we may be actually bottoming out here. Okay. And again, it's not a permanent bottom, but you could definitely be looking at a short term bottom here. And the price action I'm seeing, along with the sentiment from the retail, the amateur traders, tells me that, yeah, it's likely going to be a short-term bottom. And there, a lot of them are going to get liquidated or just forced out of their weak, late short positions, right? So I'm very comfortable with our longs. We're going to stay where we're at. And then as the markets start transitioning, further into our direction, we're already starting to potentially see it. A lot of the markets are going bullish. We're going to start scaling out of our positions, and then we'll start scaling shorts as the retail guys start thinking we're going to the moon again. We're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. Just make sure that if you're following these swing trades, that you have to at least keep the spirit. I'm not telling you to risk only 1%. I know everyone has different, account sizes. I totally understand that. But if you're using $1,000, don't put $500 in to the trade when I first announce it. Focus on one trade and put like a quarter or maybe less, like 10-15% of your balance. And if I tell you add on again, do it again. All right, do not put half of your money in, especially don't put 100% of your money in when I give you a notification. It's just not going to work with the way I'm trading these swing trades because I'm trading structures, guys. I'm trading structures, and this is how you do it when you have a lot of money. You have to trade structures. If you don't have a lot of money, again, it's not put down. You don't understand. You can't just go 100% into position because you're killing the order book. You have to trade structures. So the more money you have, the slower pace you have to be. And if someone else says otherwise, they don't have that much money, okay? Period. So just, if you're going to follow my swing trades, just keep in mind that it's going to be longer term. It's going to be longer term. Plus, we also have to keep in mind that I'm going to be wrong sometimes, all right? I'll be the first one to tell you. And I'm under the assumption I'm going to be wrong. So I give myself room to add on to the positions as long as the structure I'm seeing is still viable. Okay, I only cut my losses when the structure is breaking. Okay, when that structure is breaking, that is when I cut my losses. All right, everyone. I think that's all I want to go. Actually, no. Let me go over Luna. I almost forgot. Let me go over Luna because I want to talk about Luna. Because Luna's been having a pretty tough couple of days, but overall, I mean, since I've mentioned when I got in, I think I did the video right around here. It should have been right when I got in. I got in at that orange line. Everything was going well, and now we're having a bit of a sell-off. Most people, as from what I've been observing, are very worried. They're very worried. I wouldn't be too worried, mainly because Luna, since we've got in at least if you followed when I got in when I announced it, it was all the way up almost 500%. Now we're up just about 200%. That's a pretty normal retracement, guys. So I would say be calm. If you're in the red, I mean, I'm sorry. I wish you aren't. This is one of the reasons why I only announced when I got in. I have not told anyone else to get in after that. I have shared the chart past that, but we'll see how this price interacts with this rising trend line here. And also, I mentioned in the Discord, but in case you missed it, I'm going to be making my decisions with Ichimoku for Luna, because when you get into these major trends, and I have very low exposure, like I don't have that much invested here, just under $1,500, I would say. Then what I want to do is try and squeeze out as much as I can. I already took my profit. So on the Discord, I believe a couple of days ago, I announced that I took my some profit, my initial investment. So I took my principal out, and I'm leaving. I took just under like 20% off. So I'm leaving the rest to ride because, hey, what happens. If it wants to go higher, it goes higher. If it wants to come all the way back down, that's okay. I'm totally comfortable with. This was one of those trades where Luna Classic is not a long-term asset, but the move was clearly coming, so I took it. If you're still in it and you're in profit, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just letting you know what I did. I took some profits, especially if you could take your initial investment off. I do see that this may probably go higher. You have to give it some time, give it a couple weeks to months or so. This probably will go higher. However, the Ichimoku indicator here, I'm gonna let it tell me what to do. So, if price starts trading sideways and you see this green line here, it's called the Chico span. If that starts going inside of the candles like it did here, I'm probably going to close out the whole position. Okay, I will announce when I close out the entire position, but that will be one of the indications for me to completely get out, because at that point, even if it doesn't go lower, it's likely going to consolidate for a long period of time. And I don't really want to be in it during that time. And if it does start breaking up again, I can just buy in again, right? So that's kind of my thinking. Again, you could have your own exit strategy if that's not jiving with you. But I do see this overall going higher, but I do think it's going to take a significant amount of time. We'll see as we approach the burns, which are in about 8 days, I think, 8 or 9 days. I doubt that will have any immediate price effect, but if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, that's not a big deal either. Okay, I think that's about everything I want to go over today. There's really nothing else. Just keep in mind, that the markets right now, there's prime opportunity. It's going to be a lot of whipsaws. If this is a bottoming pattern, expect for a lot of whipsaws. This is a sort of pattern that really destroys retail traders, because a lot of the big money is not going to want them getting in down here. They need them to start chasing it higher, and that's what gives us the momentum to go higher, and also gives the liquidity for the big guys to sell into them. So just watch as we potentially break higher, especially if we break past, for Bitcoin, if we break past 23,500 and start attacking this descending blue line here. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be extremely powerful. The next wave higher, going towards 27, maybe even 30. It's gonna be very, very powerful. But once we get towards these zones over here, watch for some hard denials. Okay, like some real hard denials and some pretty major moves lower. Just saying. In my opinion, I could be wrong. We could go even higher, but I will be on the lookout for some major reversal lower. Okay. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. I promise I'll try and do more recaps, but again, I want to not just do videos to do videos. I don't care about my growth on YouTube personally. I want the videos to be informative on the positions that I'm in, we're in together, and also my general thoughts on the market. And if stuff like this is happening, nothing's changed. There's nothing's changed, and the altcoins are likely doing the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. Okay. I will be doing more exclusive videos, however, for Patreon members, mainly focused on the stock market. I will look at commodities as well, because we are going into time periods where we're going to see big changes in oil. We're already starting to see it, gold, and big transition stuff, but that's going to be mainly just for members. So if you're not a Patreon member, I would tell you, definitely give it a look, especially if you want to be part of the swing trades. It's only $15 a month. And if you want to be part of the day trading service, where you can also join the copy trade account I have on Bybit, that is $125 a month. And if you want tutorings, which I wish more people would do the tutorings. I think that's more important than any service I provide. You can do that per session. It's $100 per session, or you could pay for the month, where it's only $300 a month. You're saving $100 in the month. Okay. And yeah, there we go. So everyone, remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.